Hello and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. So today's topic is mindset, and the title is "Ha, nice try." So what we're going to talk about today is mindset of success and how you can see someone's possibility or likelihood or potential of success in even the small things that they do. So I was training a client recently, and if the client listens to the podcast, they have a potential to be offended to what I'm about to say. It's not really about them, so I'm using them as an example. And if they get offended to this, I would present it to them as a challenge. It might be that you're offended because you believe this is possibly true and you don't want this to be true of you. So take the information, do some introspective looks at yourself, and if you think I'm full of shit, then move on and don't worry about it. If you think I might possibly be right, then use the information and hopefully it'll improve your life. So, that was a little tough start probably, but I was training a client recently, and this has happened to many more people than just them. So it was just they highlighted it, and they had done a rep of an exercise wrong. They had to move their foot and get into a better position, and then they kept moving, so they kept doing more reps. And as they were doing more of them, I said around like rep 18, I said, hey, it's 18, 2 more to go. And he said, no, that's 19, I only have 1 more. Ha, nice try. And that kind of mindset rubs me insanely wrong, and I get very annoyed with it because it is a loser mindset, a failure mindset. That is the mindset of everyone I've ever worked with over 1,000 client history, over 17 years of personal training. That is the mindset of the people who are never successful. They quit, they never reach their goals, and they blame everyone and everything else. The reason why I don't like that mindset is because they counted the bad rep. So they did a rep wrong, they adjusted their position, and then they kept counting. So they counted the first one that was wrong. And then whenever I pointed out that they had 18 that they had done correct, I didn't say, those are 18 correct ones. I just said 18, 2 more to go. They thought it as if I was trying to get one over on them or that I was trying to cheat them into an extra rep. When actually they were cheating themselves of the correct number of correct reps, of the number of reps that actually would have made a damn bit of difference. So that first rep wasn't correct. It did not do what they wanted it to do. Therefore, you don't count that rep. I know that this sounds insanely small, but that's my point. Is that in even the small things that we do, you can see whether someone will lead to a success in life or not. Now, am I overblowing this? Maybe. I've definitely done that. But let's talk this through and let's see what types of truths there may be to this. So, should that first rep have counted if it was wrong? I'm going to guess that everyone listening to this is going to agree and say no, it shouldn't. If it didn't work when it was supposed to work, why would you count it? But why do people count it? Why are there people who say, ha, nice try, and they still count the stuff in life that wasn't correct, that didn't lead them towards their goals? Yeah, they might have put in effort, but it wasn't the right effort. It was wrong effort. It was effort that won't get them a result that they want, but yet they still want to be able to count it because they want recognition for the efforts that they do, regardless of whether they're good or not. That is a loser. That is a failure mindset. And I'm picking my words aggressively on purpose because I want this to irritate people. Okay? I want it to possibly irritate you enough to actually make you change. If that change is in part fueled by screw Rob, fine, I don't care. That whatever. That's not the motivation I would want people to have. I want them to have intrinsic do it for themselves motivation. But if saying screw Rob gets you started, I'm okay with that. Okay? So the most successful clients I've worked with, again, I've worked with over 1,000 people. I've been personal trained for 17 years. I taught at the university level for 7 years, had well over 500 students. So I have worked with a lot of people. I've been around a lot of people. And the 1,000 clients isn't even talking about speaking engagements and all the other crazy things I've done in my life. That's just actual clients I've had, like for personal training, nutritional counseling, one-on-one type clients. So who knows what the hell the number actually is. But I've been around a lot of people. And the most successful people I've been around have reacted in two ways towards counting reps. They either count exactly as I do and they only count correct reps. Or if they ever think I'm off, if they ever think that I'm asking them to do extra, they never say a damn word. They just do the reps because they immediately accept it as a challenge and they just do it. They don't see it as something that they try to run away from, skirt away from. They don't see it as me trying to get one over on them. So they just say maybe in their head, I have no clue because they don't even ask me. We don't even talk about it. They just do the damn reps. So I'm assuming that maybe in their head they say, yeah, I thought it was 17, but he says it's 16. I guess I do have one more. And they just move on and they do the reps. Or they're like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure like I only had two more, but he's telling me three. Whatever, I can do three. I'm going to do three. So they just accept it. They just move on and do it. We never even have to have a conversation because it's not even a big deal to them. They just do the extra rep. Whereas people who have loser mindsets, the clients who are unsuccessful, are the ones who try to point it out, try to skirt away from it, and they say, nice try. As if I'm trying to cheat them into better results. I'm trying to fool them into being the better person that they're capable of. That's ridiculous, right? So when I have weak-minded clients, and I know it, I'll often test them in this way. I'll miscount reps on purpose because I want to see what their natural reaction is. And it tells me a lot about who they're going to be as a client and how hard I'm going to have to push them on the mental aspects of success as compared to the physical aspects of success towards their goals. Overwhelmingly, almost everyone, including myself, we are our own problem when it comes to being successful. We get in our own damn way. Now, the clients who've been successful, they're the least in their own way, okay? But they're still in their own way. The clients who are not successful are the most in their own way, and they refuse to accept it, they refuse to do anything about it, and they try to blame it on everyone and everything else. So, successful clients, correct me if I say too few of reps actually, so they don't cheat themselves out of the right number of reps. So if I say they only have 3 more to go, they're like, no, I have 4 more. They'll actually say that out loud because it's an initial response to them to say, no, I'm not getting cheated out. I'm not losing my progress. So as quickly as they can, they'll blurt out that they have extra reps. They blurt it out as fast as the unsuccessful people blurt out that they think they only have 1 or 2 more when I tell them they have 2 or 3. So the successful people correct me when I say they have too few reps, so they don't get cheated out of their best results. Or if I miscount and tell them more reps than what they really have, they don't say shit, they just do it. The unsuccessful clients, the response I get is, nice try. And they always, always, always want to point out the effort that they did regardless of the quality of that effort. Okay? That mindset bothers the hell out of me. So this is, like I said, the mindset of why some people are losers and some people are winners. And not only in the gym, but also in life. Again, if you don't like the term winners and losers, I'm picking this on purpose because I want to annoy you today. Okay? I want to get some people fired up. If you're naturally a winner, you're going to be okay with this language because you know you're a winner. Okay? And you're like, man, that's fine with me. Okay, I don't mind being called a winner. If you have the bad habits, you're not going to like being called a loser. But I want to do this in a sense of waking you up. So I actually had a client talk to me recently, and they were saying how it was interesting to them on how aggressive my language is in podcasts as compared to in person. And I pointed out that in person you get the benefit of body language. So when I'm trying to give corrections, when I'm trying to give mindset awareness, things in person. First of all, being in person feels more aggressive than listening to a podcast. So automatically, the fact you're in person, you have to soften your language. Then also, this is just true. I'm a male. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm 280 pounds. If I square up to you shoulder to shoulder, I'm going to look kind of intimidating. And especially since at least half the people I train are females, that is not going to be the appropriate response that I want to, the appropriate type of emotion that I want to convey. So when I talk about this stuff in person, it's because I want them to be a winner. I want you to be a winner. I don't want to be aggressive in the sense of shutting you down or feeling like I'm yelling at you. I want to raise your awareness to this. And if you are fight against this and you seem more unwilling to recognize your own mistakes, then that means I have to be more aggressive towards trying to get your attention. So when I'm in person, if I needed to, I could square up my shoulders. I can still talk softly like I am now. I can still use kind words. But just the simple fact that I'm squaring up my shoulders and face to face to someone, that'll give it a more intimidating, a more aggressive type feel. So I don't have to have the aggressive language. So in podcasts, there is no body language. So if I don't talk a little more aggressive to get your attention, this is going to flush right over you. It's going to wash over you. You're going to just count yourself as a winner and move on and feel really good about yourself. What I want to do today is to test you and I want to ask you, do you see the bad efforts? Do you see the bad qualities that maybe I'm talking about this in yourself? And is it something that maybe you can work to address? So, in life and in the gym, do you accept challenges? Okay? Or do you whine about them? Do you complain about things not being fair? Guess what? Life isn't fair. At no point in time has anyone ever told you that life should be fair. If they did, they're an idiot and they're full of crap. But nothing in life, nothing of life, ever tells you that life is fair. Life is not fair. It has nothing to do with being fair. That's not even the goal of life, is to have fairness. Okay? Nothing about life is fair. So if you whine and complain about that, it's never going to change. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. So don't whine about things being unfair. Don't complain about things being unfair. Just recognize that that's the way life works. You're going to be ahead of some people in some things. You're going to be behind some people in some things. That's it. That's reality. So do you just accept the challenges that are given to you? Do you not try to find the easy way out? Do you just roll with whatever happens? And you take on the challenges as tests to see if you can become tougher? That's what winning mindsets do. They accept challenges. They don't look for the easy way out. They roll with whatever happens to them, and they take it on as an opportunity to better themselves. They say, if I can't control what comes to me, I can control, if I let what comes to me grow me. That's what a winning mindset does. A losing mindset whines about everything. They complain about everything. They count their bad efforts the same as their good efforts. So they count that first rep even if it's wrong. And they always look to reduce challenges or avoid them. The losing mindsets are the people who come in and bitch and whine about the warm-ups being hard. What the hell did you come here for? If you came here to not be out of breath, to not have to lift something challenging, you came to the wrong damn place. Go to any other gym. I don't give a shit where you go. Don't come to mine. But if you came here to challenge yourself, to become better, to become the best of yourself, you're not going to whine during warm-ups. You're not going to complain when things get heavy. You're going to freaking attack them. You're going to love the opportunity presented to you to make yourself better. That's the mindset we want to cultivate. That's the mindset we want to grow. So when life throws a challenge at you, do you try to find a way to avoid it? And if you're lucky, do you laugh in life's face and say, ha, nice try? Or do you say, screw you, life, I'm going to freaking crush this. I don't care what you throw at me, I'm stronger than this. I got this. That's the mindset we want to have. So I was talking with a trainer, another different trainer, the other day, and we discussed the general concept that our greatest achievements in training were accomplished in the dark, in that no one will ever know. So this trainer also has, I've been lifting weights now for 19 years. So my birthday is next month. It'll give me 20 years of lifting weights, which I feel is pretty badass. And this trainer's been lifting for over 10 years. And we were discussing the mental challenges and benefits to training at high intensities and with a high self-demand. So they were struggling to get their clients motivated. And the trainer is feeling burned out from having to motivate their own clients, because motivation comes natural to that trainer. So they're worn out and tired and frustrated that they have to constantly motivate their clients. And it's not that they themselves or that I don't ever need motivation. Absolutely we do. Okay? It's just that we've always sought it out. We've found a way to make things work. And we've always just kind of like understood that, yeah, this is going to suck. This is going to be tough. If I don't think I can handle it, let me go figure out how. There was always that reaction to let me go take this. Let me take this challenge and run with it. Let me take this challenge, do something. Let me become better. Let me find a way to overcome this. Whereas with a lot of their clients, this trainer said, they're just feeling burned out. The client comes in whining about everything in their life before they even came through the door. Then they whine through everything that they do in the door, okay, in the gym. They just whine, complain. Their clients just aren't coming in with an attacking mindset. And they were asking how they can do that. So they mentioned how their clients always want to be acknowledged and praised for their efforts. And how people just, in their words, don't do shit for themselves anymore. So this is a fun conversation, and I'm editing a lot of it already. But basically, that was what they were saying, is they said, people just don't do shit for themselves anymore. Everybody wants a bleeping ribbon. So which I laughed because that was pretty funny. But it's becoming more and more true. So when I first started lifting weights when I was 16, I trained in my parents' basement like a freaking madman. There was no social media, no one to tell my achievements to, because, first of all, nothing I did was actually that impressive because I was weak as shit at that time. I was fat, out of shape, and weak. So if I told somebody what I did, it wouldn't even have sounded like bragging because it wasn't even impressive enough to brag about. And other than my mom and dad loving me and, being kind enough to listen, they had no way to relate because they didn't exercise. They didn't know if anything I was doing was good. So it's kind of like you go home and tell somebody like, hey, I benched 225 today. They're either not going to know if that's any good, so they're just like, oh, that's great, honey, whatever. Or they're going to go, yeah, well, I have a cousin, da-da-da, who, benches 500, and you're like, oh, okay, that's great, wonderful for the cousin, but this is good for me. So there was no point in bragging because nothing I did was impressive, and no one cared, and there was no social media to post to every day. So I just had to push, and drive myself day after day, month after month, year after year, with an internal desire to be my best. And that's what this trainer did. And we were wondering and talking about, is that internal desire to be your best, is that dead in today's age? Do people really need to be praised for everything they do? Does everybody need a bleeping ribbon? Okay? Have we cultivated a culture of kind of losing mindsets? People who try to scheme their way out of challenges rather than rise up to them. And I certainly hope not. I don't think we do. I do think that there has become a new need to teach self-discipline and teach intrinsic drive. Because that stuff, like the things that take away from self-discipline, the things that take away from intrinsic drive, didn't exist back then. There wasn't social media that you could post to for every damn thing you did and get praises through likes and followers and whatever, friends, quote unquote, on Facebook and stuff. there wasn't that initial immediate self gratification for every effort you did. Okay? And I feel like the presence of having that is actually making people less and less intrinsically motivated. So I started reading a book recently titled Drive, and I think it's by Daniel Pink. I think he's the author. And one of the things it talks about in the book is motivation. And specifically, it talks about that if you give an extrinsic reward, so if you give everybody a ribbon, if you give everybody a cookie, a trophy, if you give everybody praise, an extrinsic reward, that actually lowers intrinsic motivation. So all our culture seems to be built more and more around extrinsic rewards. Whether that's through social media, whether that's participation trophies and ribbons and shit like that. But we seem to be more and more rewarded extrinsically for everything that we do. And that book, Drive by Daniel Pink, is pointing out that extrinsic rewards decrease intrinsic motivation. And if that's true, it makes sense then that in today's culture, people are becoming less and less intrinsically motivated. Because we have a culture based around extrinsic reward. So, how can we build intrinsic motivation? Well, if I knew the answer to that, I'd be a millionaire. Okay? But there has to be a desire in the person, in some way, some fashion. It has to be built in some way. It has to be created. A desire to not be the lowest quality of themselves. To not be the worst, lazy, whiny piece of crap version that they're actually capable of being. There has to be a desire to be better than that. Maybe not even a desire to be their best, but at least a desire not to be their worst. Okay? So there has to be that desire to see what they're truly capable of. So for me, what got me motivated wasn't anything positive. It wasn't a happy thing. I hated who I was. I was lazy. I was whiny. I was like a fat piece of crap, weak, fat, lazy, skirted away from everything in life that was work, skirted away from responsibilities. And over time, I didn't like who I was. And I decided that if I stayed that version of myself, I would stay with those feelings. And I didn't like those feelings. So instead, I developed a mindset of making a change. I not only accepted challenges, I sought out challenges. And I tried my best, and it clicked with me to understand that I could be in the emotional pain of hating who I was, or I could be in the physical pain of changing who I was. Either way, I was going to be in pain. But why not be in a pain that led to pleasure, rather than a pain that led to the same damn pain every damn day? If you eat poorly today, you will not like the feelings of that. If you eat poorly tomorrow, you will have the same feelings. If you eat poorly the following day, you will have the same feelings. Are you just doing the same things every day, getting the same feelings, and wishing things were different? Or are you working for things to be different? Okay? So when you're in the gym, when you're in life, what mindset do you have? Do you have a winning mindset that seeks out challenges? Or do you have a losing mindset that avoids them or tries to scheme their way out of them? So when life throws you a challenge or your trainer miscounts an extra rep, okay, do you avoid it and say, ha, nice try? Or do you say, screw you, life, or screw you, trainer? I'm going to do that extra rep. I'll take on this challenge. I'll freaking crush it because that's who I am. I'm strong. I'm tough. I'm capable of any damn thing that I want to be capable of. So when you think of who you are you proud of that image? Are you proud of who you are today? That can be a tough question. And it's absolutely multi layered. You can have a great heart. You can be a great parent, great spouse, great friend. You might volunteer to feed the homeless on the weekends. Okay? You can be a good person. I'm not saying you can't be. And I'm not saying that one small flaw negates the whole big picture. But what I am saying is, are you aware of parts of you that you aren't proud of? Or are you aware of parts of you that you wouldn't want others to see? And are you okay with those parts being there? So I'm not perfect. Hell no, not even remotely close to perfect. Okay? And I'm not saying you have to be perfect either to be proud of yourself. But I do believe that to be proud of yourself, to be fully proud, to be a winner in life, to have a winning mindset, you have to be working towards your flaws, not hiding them, not excusing them, not running away from them. You have to be attacking them and working on them. You can be proud of yourself and the efforts that you're putting towards being your best, even if you're not your best yet. Okay? And I think life's a continual process of trying to become not only your best, but bettering your best. So I don't feel like life is anything you're ever done with. So you better damn well be able to be proud of the journey, because the whole damn life is a journey. So what I'm saying is, are you aware of things that maybe are a loser type mindset that you have? And if you're aware of them, what are you doing about them? Are you trying to change them? Or are you just letting yourself sit in the pain of those things and doing nothing about it and feeling that pain from day to day? The same pain every day. Or are you going to take on the pain of maybe a challenge towards addressing those things, towards changing those things? So, if you've listened this far and you haven't told me to go screw myself just yet, okay, I challenge you to challenge yourself. For the next week in your workouts, add a rep to everything you do. Now, obviously, if you're doing like a 1 rep max testing, don't try to go for 2 and hurt yourself, okay? But if you're doing exercises, instead of sets of 10, do sets of 11. Instead of sets of 20, do sets of 21. Challenge yourself to challenge yourself, okay? Take on the extra rep on your own without some evil-minded trainer, okay, trying to force you to do so. But see what greatness you have in you that you haven't tapped into yet. And I promise, if you do this in the gym, if you just add 1 rep to everything you do in the gym, you're going to start to seek out small challenges in life. You're going to park a couple spaces further away from the building. Make yourself walk a little bit more. Maybe instead of taking the elevator for 1 flight, you'll walk up the stairs. Okay? Maybe instead of having that shitty, junky food at night, you'll have healthy food. Or you'll go pick up a new hobby and not mindlessly eat. You'll go do something creative and fun with your time. Maybe talk to another human being. Okay? Get some laughter, get some fun things. Do something with yourself other than the same shit that makes you feel bad about yourself every day. So don't shy away, don't run away, don't scheme away from the challenges of your life. Actually create challenges and strategically plan your challenges. Okay, build your strengths, attack your weaknesses. And then whatever life throws at you will only be a side concern, because you'll crush it and you'll keep going on your own freaking challenges. Okay? So if you want to be tougher than life, you have to be developing toughness. What are you doing today that develops new toughness? Or are you just trying to survive the day? What are you doing today that is growing a new you for tomorrow? If nothing, then you're going to get the same thing tomorrow that you got today. And if you don't like it, that's what you're going to get. Okay? Challenge yourself. Toughen yourself up. Make your life more of what you want rather than what you get. Okay? Take control. Take charge. Make a difference. Okay? So, hopefully this woke you up a little bit. And hopefully the client who this was about isn't ridiculously totally offended with me. Okay? So I do hope that maybe you take on what I'm saying here and see that if you were to accept a mindset of, you know what, I am only going to count the reps that count for me in life, that are actually making me progress. You'll see not only better results in the gym, but you're going to see better results in life. Okay? So, if you like this idea and you have any questions around it or you need any help implementing this type of stuff into your life, email us at brutalirongym@gmail.com. We are 100% happy to help. So if you've invested the last 30 minutes into this podcast, we are happy to invest into you. So if you need anything at all, email us at brutalirongym@gmail.com. Okay? So if you like the podcast, please share it with family and friends. The more people we help, the happier the world will be. Also, if you like this information, you can find more from us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Brutal Iron Gym. And if you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. The podcast is for you, so we want to know what you want to learn about. You can tell us at our email at brutalirongym@gmail.com. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening. And thank you.